Hi, Jenny here. Today I thought I would make a video on some of the backstory of my symptoms of what led me to actually making the doctor's appointment and being diagnosed with rectal cancer. So as far back from earliest that I can remember was about 2020 when I started having some symptoms. Before that, life was all hunky-dory, peachy, having a good life. So probably around February-ish, I noticed that I was starting to have to go to the bathroom more. I was having more urges and that basically needing to poop, and that I needed to get to the bathroom right away. And I would go, and the poop would be fairly normal. It was just a matter of I was having a lot of urges. So March, the pandemic hit, and a lot of the businesses started closing down. So then I was home. At that point in time, I'd had a part-time job working as manager of a daycare in a health facility, a gym. And then I also had a nighttime part-time job working at a car dealership as a cashier. So the gym ended up closing down for a couple months, and the car dealership, being deemed necessary, stayed open. So it was very nice. I was very grateful that I still did have a job and some income. It was also slower, so I didn't seem to notice as many issues when I was working. It was a 4-hour shift. Again, nighttime, slower, so it wasn't bad. I'd still go to the bathroom once, maybe twice, but it didn't seem to be as much of an issue, I guess, as I was either standing, working, sitting mainly. When I was at home, even though I was sitting a lot, doing my computer stuff or whatever, trying to work out and still stay healthy and move my body, I was still finding that I was running to the bathroom more. By it was Memorial Day, I know the gym reopened, and I was wondering whether I was going to be able to still work or not, because I thought, well, what if I really need to run to the bathroom? But I have a bathroom right in my room, so that was nice. I didn't have to go down the hall to go to the bathroom or anything. And so I thought, we'll see how it goes. And it worked out fine. Things still seem to be fine. But I knew at that point, it's kind of why I'd gotten the other job, was I was already kind of looking to stop working at the gym and kind of run its course. It was wonderful for while I was there. It gave me opportunity being close to the girls while they were in school. Gave me the flexibility if I needed time off, or I needed to take off time if they were sick to pick them up or whatever. It was a good time taking care of the kids. I really enjoyed that. Getting all the cuddles in and watching them grow. Wondering, it's like I'd love to see them 10 years down the road and see what their interests are, if they were still the same, or how they were going to do. So still think about those kiddos a lot. I hope they're doing well and wonder how they're doing. But in any case, by August, I decided that I needed to switch gears, and so I quit that job. Also thinking that maybe some of my, intestinal issues were due to stress. And so if I relieved some of that stress, that maybe things would go away. And they didn't. I did rent a book from the library, one of them that I had shown, The Crispy Cancer. That was in July. I rented that, and just thinking, maybe if by chance that was something. I still thought it was more of an intestinal bug type issue that would go away. But I guess same, from February to July, it wasn't going away. Came across that book probably via my Facebook feed or something, I'm sure, and so I rented the book, from the library, and read that. And one of the things that he would do was the juicing. So I got myself a juicer, and I started doing the juicing and did that for about a month or so. Wasn't noticing any difference. It's okay. Also in July, we got my daughter an apartment in Oshkosh because she was going to go to college there then. And so again, with the pandemic hitting, she actually had online classes, so she was in her apartment for that time. And partly because of that, partly, She was our daughter. We missed her. We wanted to visit her. Also, because she wasn't really having any human contact, being in an apartment, we were giving her that human contact. And so most weekends we would go up and visit with her. And then take her shopping, take her out to eat. Again, just to have a visit. Because I was still having the urges to go to the bathroom, I knew where all the bathroom stops were between here in Milwaukee and Oshkosh. So it's kind of funny. It takes me back again about when, if you have kids, you understand that when they're little, I was taking an extra change of clothes. So in case they either had an accident or they, got messy wherever you're at, you have that change of clothes. And also during potty training, when you go to any establishment, any restaurant, any, Target, so you know where the bathrooms are because the kids inevitably have to go to the bathroom when you go somewhere. Well, I'm reliving all that. I always had an extra change of clothes on me, and I knew where the bathroom stops were. Like I said, between here and there, I knew where the rest stop was. I knew where the quick trips were. Knew that if I was having a little bit of feeling, I needed to let Wayne know, hey, we need to find a bathroom. So, because by the time we did find the bathroom, I really had to go. And we'd go out to eat, we'd go anywhere. I knew where the bathrooms were in the restaurants. First thing I'm looking for when I'm walking in the door. Unfortunately, whatever, life is still kind of like that right now, where I'm at. But we'll see. Now that I have the ostomy bag, I don't kind of have to have the bathroom all that often now. But in any case, my stools became looser. I didn't have a real formed stool so much, and I had a lot of gas. So again, that was July 2020. So same. It was still a matter of the bathroom urges kind of stopped probably by then, about a year, that year mark, 2022-ish. And it was still a matter of, though I was going to the bathroom a lot, pretty much every time I would go to the bathroom, I would be pooping. It wouldn't just be pee. If I just had pee, I was like, woo! By the summer of 2022, so again, I was trying some other things. I had done some, after I did the carrot juicing and that earlier, I found another book that somebody had tried some celery juicing, and so I tried celery juicing for a month. By that following summer, like I said, June-ish 2022, I was thinking maybe I had a gluten intolerance. And so I cut out a lot of breads and grains and noodles and crackers, that type of thing, just trying to think if maybe that was an issue. And then I had people starting to ask me, it's like, oh, are you losing weight? And I don't know. I'm not one to weigh myself, so as long as my clothes are fitting, I'm fine. So probably by August, late August, September, my work clothes were not fitting me. They were starting to kind of fall off, so I had to go down a size. Thank goodness I had some work clothes available. I could do that. And by then, September, October, November, I was making sure I would have, again, more pressure of urges of having to go to the bathroom. And it was just kind of ooh, can I hold it? Can I hold it? Because again, I was working in 2 different buildings. I would do some filing and stuff in one of the buildings, and then I would go work my cashier shift. And so it's kind of okay, can I make it to my cashier's? And then I'd go to the bathroom before I'd start my other shift. And again, I'd usually make it through. But also still at this point, I didn't have formed stool. It was all just pretty much diarrhea. Still thinking I could try to heal it myself, do whatever. As I said, that's what I was trying to do. Eating healthier, meditating, juicing, trying to do different things that way. let's see, also and then during the night, around that time, I was getting up every hour and a half, 2 hours. I couldn't go very long without having to go to the bathroom. So I was waking up throughout the night, like I said, every hour and a half to 2 hours. Maybe I'd go 3, but I'd have to go to the bathroom. So I wasn't getting really good night's sleep. Kind of tired, but still, things were fine. Fine enough. kind of get used to, what you're used to. By January, that was about by mid-January, I started getting some hemorrhoids. And so then it was kind of like, all right, I'm getting a little bit more pain. So yeah, towards the end of January, I know there was a day that, as I was at work, and I kind of sat down real gingerly, and my coworker was like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm in pain, have some hemorrhoids. And then a couple days, I don't know why, I remember that was on a Tuesday. Thursday ended up being fine. I worked that Saturday. I was not feeling well on Saturday. Saturday I felt like I was bloated, like I was some big balloon, and I kept going to the bathroom that day. And I just couldn't clear myself out enough, type of whatever. I'm like, jeepers, you could stick a pin in me and I would probably be like a balloon and go. By that following Tuesday, again, I was in so much pain I didn't know if I could work. And then I decided that I could take some pain pills. So I took some Advil, and that worked. And I was like, woo, okay, it took care of the hemorrhoid pain, and so I was happy that I could still work. And so I got through my shift on Tuesday, fine. And by Thursday, I think I got through Thursday. It was fine. By the following week, Tuesday was okay. The Advil started not taking the edge off for as long as it should. I was only taking 2 Advil at that point in time. And usually I go about 4 hours and then take another one. Well, by the 3-hour mark, I was starting to feel pain. And again, it was, the bathroom issues were still that I was still just running all the time. So by Wednesday, I was still, like I said, the Advil was not taking care of the pain. I decided, okay, I'm going to call the doctor and see what's going on. So I got into the doctor on Thursday, and I think I told that story. So we talked for a little bit. She's like, where you been the last 5 years? And I'm like, I've been home. She was like, well, have you seen any other doctors? Have you seen? And I'm like, no, I've been healthy until now that I'm not. So that's kind of funny. One of those, in case, what kind of, brought this all on. What kind, I thought about how people didn't used to go to the doctors in the old ages, right? When my parents were young, you don't go to the doctor unless you're sick. And so it's another one of those, now it was kind of like, why go to the doctor if I'm healthy? Just for them to go in there and say, hey, you're healthy. Yeah, okay, great. So I remember one of the last times I went to the doctor and thinking about that, going, I don't really need to. Maybe I'll go every other year and all that. And I'm like, yeah, because I've been healthy all this time. Now watch, I'll get sick. So, those things in hindsight, well, how much do words really matter? I don't know. Did I put that out there? Did I? So as I said, the doctor checked me out. She palpated me, stuck a finger up my butt, moved around, said, yep, there's a mass in there. While, after she was done with that, she got right on the phone and called the GI doctor and said, hey, I have an emergency case here. Can she, when can she get in? And so I was able to get in on a Monday, which was very nice. Got into this surgeon GI doctor on the Monday. We talked a little bit. I was in pain. I wasn't supposed to take any Advil, just in case he was going to scope me and do any biopsies so that there would be any extra bleeding. And so I was trying Tylenol, I was using, and that didn't work. Maybe half. And so when I got in his office and he came in very cutely as he comes in and he's like, tell me a butt story. I'm like, tell you a butt story. And I started crying and telling him how I have all this pain. It was from the hemorrhoids and or this mass in my rectum. And so he got really concerned and he was like, okay, let's go check you out. Let's go to a different room. So he took me to a different room, scoped me, biopsied me, and within the next day, he called to say it's cancerous. So then we go from there and get to see all the other doctors and do all the other procedures. So now when I saw the oncologist, some of the questions that he asked were like, what type of job did I have? You know, like, do I work? What industry am I in? How long have I worked at these places? So I think too, maybe trying to figure out, you know, how did I get cancer? Why did it form? Those are the mysterious questions, right? Probably anybody that has it. It's a matter of how did you get it? You know, and I think that, and I go there more so in the beginning, but there too, it's kind of like, well, kind of doesn't matter. I do have it, and so now it's just a matter of moving on and what can we do to eradicate the situation? Let's get rid of the cancer. So I've never smoked. I don't do drugs. Alcohol, I haven't had any in years in reality. Probably maybe when Cassie graduated high school, we went out to eat. I may have had a drink or two. That's, you know, about it. Maybe twice a year or something I would have a drink. So again, not a drinker. Didn't really work in industries with a lot of fumes or chemicals or anything. If I go, like I said, the healthy type routes of, you know, the mystical, religious, the whatever out there, as they talk about when you like your thoughts can create things, and so I don't think I ever really had that. When I was 31-ish, something like that, whatever, I had a mole on my arm that looked kind of funny to me. And my parents had been going to a skin doctor, and it had some moles removed, and some of them were like the basal cell carcinomas, so like a basic kind of a skin cancer and all that. So I thought, well, I should probably go to the skin doctor because, you know, DNA, I've got their skin. I should get checked out because I've got moles all over too. And I mentioned that one, and the doctor was like, it's nothing. And he checked out the rest of me. And then I think he did want to remove one. And I said, but how about this one on my arm? And he was like, well, I can remove it if you'd like me to. And I said, sure, why not? Let's just do it. And that one, my mole was kind of a dark mole, and it looked like it had a couple like 2 or 3 pencil marks in there, like a little period of a sentence. So that's what I didn't really care for. And I also had a friend who was a physician assistant at a dermatologist's office, and I'd even asked her about it. She said, I don't think it's anything, but they can remove it real easily for you. So yeah, I had the dermatologist remove that, and then he called me back a couple days later or whatever and said, I need you to come in for an appointment. And I'm like, all right. So I come in for him to say it was a cancerous mole. It was a melanoma. And I'm like, okay. And he says, do you understand it's cancer? And I said, yeah, okay. And he's like, no, it's cancer. And I'm like, yeah, I got that. So now what? What do we do? I'm like, I figured I'd get some type of cancer in my life at some point. I figured maybe breast cancer because that's what runs in the family. So this is the type of cancer I got. All right, what do we do? And he's like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, we need to do a surgery to take off some more of the skin cells because the sample that they had gotten, there were still some cancerous cells at the edges of the sample. And so they wanted to make sure that they got more of the skin off to make sure they got all the cancerous cells. And so they did. So I had this cute, upside down question mark on my arm. And so, okay, I figured, well, there we go. That was my cancer experience, I'm done. My dad had pancreatic cancer late in his life. That's pretty much what claimed his life. He was healthy throughout his whole life, never really been hospitalized or anything. He ended up with pancreatic cancer. So, same. Why? Don't know. But he ended up with that. But it's kind of like, okay. So again, it's another one for me, thinking about why, you get to this point when you get cancer that a lot of the questions, you do that, why me? Why did I get it? How did I get it? Could I have prevented it? Again, doesn't really matter because you have it, but so some of the points in the beginning, like I said, I cried for a good 21 days in the beginning when I found out. After I'd found out from my primary doctor when she scoped me and then called the GI doctor that next day, that Friday, I ended up texting my manager and crying the blues and telling her that I needed to quit immediately. Which is not a thing that I do. I'm the responsible type of one. I'll give my 2 weeks and I work those 2 weeks, as opposed to in the industry that I work in, a lot of people would give their 2 weeks and be gone, not show up the next day. It's like, how can people do that? Well, I was in so much pain and all that I couldn't work. Well, wouldn't have been very easy for me to. It was much better. So I'm very grateful that I'm able to have off at this point in time. I don't have to work. Wayne's been super supportive. Everybody's been super. All you guys have been super supportive. So I appreciate that. Like I said, I went through that whole month pretty much not telling anybody what was going on because I wanted to know what was going on and I wanted to have a plan and go from there. So I had good support with immediate family that knew, between Wayne and my kiddos and my mom and Wayne's family and a couple other people that I told, some friends. So they kind of, gave me that encouraging support and anything I needed for that first month. Like I said, for those 21 days that I cried every day and grieved the life I had, grieved trying to, obviously thinking of what was going to happen going forward. And trying to think of why. So like I said, putting those words out there of, I'll stop going to the doctor. Maybe now I'll get sick. I don't know. Thinking about what it was stress. You talk about, okay, it's think of the chakras. You have 7 chakras of the system. That's the root chakra, being in the rectum area, the bottom. It's where you hold on to things. It's your control. Rectum has control of holding on or letting things go. So what comes at you out in life that you're holding on to, that you're not dealing with, you're not processing, that don't know. Like I said, I kind of thought it was the stress of one of my jobs, and I was really hoping that, okay, if I let that go, that my body, would go back to normal and I'd be fine. So be it. So that's it. I don't particularly know. I've tried communicating to my angels to the other side and haven't come up with a specific answer. Didn't know as though really I would, but the only thing that I did kind of hear is that, maybe it did kind of, it started in the 2020 and it was kind of due to stress, and that was one of a multitude of things of why. So at this point in time, again, interesting, thinking again, familial wise of what's gone on, of what, I'm having to go through, my dad having to have gone through this already. He was in Florida when that all happened, so I didn't really get to learn anything from him. I never saw his colostomy or any of his supplies, or I didn't really see any of that stuff. He was very private about that, obviously kind of embarrassed, didn't want anybody knowing. I'm grateful, again, to be going through this at this time of life because of us having the internet and information out there. Even the doctors and the nurses, my mom mentioned, I mentioned that we have nurse navigators these days, which is kind of a contact point. If I have any questions or anything, I can contact her. She can help me with answering and knowing, where to go to find the answers, as far as if I had questions with appointments or how things might go, or that they can help. My mom didn't have that. My dad didn't have a nurse navigator. Videos I'm finding on the internet, seeing other people and how they've dealt with it. Right now, what I've found in the last couple of weeks is a lot of stuff is old. It's still like 8 years old, 5 years old. So again, things have changed even since then, and how they do things now. So, still searching out there, trying to find things maybe a little bit more relevant. And if not, also hoping these videos that I put out may be able to help somebody that'll be going through something either at the same time, or I don't know, soon after I put these out, whatever. Maybe if these videos can help somebody, that would be wonderful. That'd be great. What more could I want off of this stuff? Just keeping everybody informed. You never know. There are so many people that have this stuff. Like I said, even the day that I got marked for my ostomy, I was the 7th one. So there are so many people that are going through this procedure, and you don't know, and of all ages. Age doesn't matter for this type of thing. Wayne had a friend whose son had an ostomy bag. And we were at a different friend's house for a gathering, a little barbecue, cookout, having fun, running around the house. The kids were running around, all having fun. Everybody was. There was, you couldn't tell, you didn't know. A lot of stuff that I see online of people that have either like Crohn's disease or irritable bowel disease, ulcerative colitis. So they've already gone through a lot of sickness and they're not being able to eat and bathroom issues and whatever, and they go through having an ileostomy. And sometimes it can be reversed, and a lot of times, and these people, some of them have chosen not to, because for them, if it gets reversed, the whatever the disease could come back. Not guaranteed. You don't know, so they're taking that chance. And so a lot of them are like, I didn't really have much of a life before, and now that I have my ileostomy, I have life. So again, ultimately, you should be able to do anything and everything. Shouldn't hold you back. You can you can swim, you can hike, you can run, you can exercise. Just got to get to that healing point. I'm still only 2 weeks out. I'm just like, again, right, with everything else in life, let's go. Like, let me eat everything. Let me have, my regular life. But I have to wait. Not yet. Reading another book talking about no sit-ups. Can't do sit-ups because that may cause a hernia. It may hurt me. So, yoga, some of the yoga movements. Can't do those. Maybe later, once I get all healed. A little bit down the road. So that's it too. It's the same thing. Some of the videos I'm finding of these people that have been making them, they're also already like a year out of already having their ileostomy and their whatever. So, things that they can do, like I can't do just yet. So it's also part of, I want to put this whole beginning experience out there. I am only, like I said, I'm only 2 weeks out. What can I do now? What am I doing? What am I eating now? What are my activities now? I did take a walk today, so I can still do that. So that's nice. Try to keep the body moving, do what I can. Drinking what I can. Yeah, trying to still just keep going, keep living. Doing what I can, eat what I can, drink what I can. Do what I, taking the walks, keeping active. Going out, I did go out to the restaurant last weekish or so, and that was fine. So again, as time goes on, obviously things will become a little more normal, day by day. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll see what I can answer. Again, obviously just all from my experience and what I've got going on, which is different from other people's experiences. Everybody's body is different. If you've gone through something, you let me know. I appreciate that. I've had several people reach out to me letting me know that either they've gone through something like this, they've had a type of cancer, and somebody who's had breast cancer, somebody that's had ovarian cancer, somebody that had colon cancer. So it's very nice to know and to hear from those people also that, yeah, they went through it. Yeah, it's rough. Hey, you're going to get through it. It's giving me words of encouragement and knowing that they made it through. So many people have made it through. And as I was alluding to before, there are so many people that have ileostomies and colostomies and urostomies. You have a urinary tract type cancer or procedures, or my daughter worked with somebody that had, I think, the urostomy type procedure. He was having a problem with his kidney, and then he had it reversed. And in the end, he's been doing fine. So that's it, right? So I said, day by day, we'll get through this. I'll document it. We'll get through it together. So thank you again for the prayers. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for keeping me, yes, in your thoughts and helping me to get through this. So you guys keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye.